All right, so next up, I've got True Geordie written down here on the show notes. Are we going to jump into True Geordie?
Yeah, we can
definitely
jump on it briefly. I mean, I'll take the lead, I guess, because I put it into the WhatsApp group, didn't I? A video popped up the other day, and it was basically like True Geordie opening up about certain things that had happened online, and it sort of transpired that somebody had leaked the back and forth messages with him and a lady on Instagram, which were really like graphic. And
wait, was this lady just like a friend or an associate?
What type of
messages were there?
So it were sexually sort of explicit, which it sounds bad, but he's a Geordie. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you met anybody from Northeast, they are rough. And he used to work offshore as well, so they're even rougher. Like, he used to be a diver. I know a few, like, from my time at sea, I know a few guys from Northeast, and like it's pretty tame from what I've heard come out of their mouth. But
so you're saying what he actually wrote was rough, was quite
so he basically said that he said that he's
how can you word this, right?
I'm just gonna go in.
How's it?
I'm gonna go in, right?
Well, so, how many beeps do we need on this section?
So get ready. He goes, starts talking to this lady back and forth, and they start getting a bit intimate, a bit of sex talk and all that. And I think she spoke about a dildo, and then he spoke that he's got a bigger dildo, which were a bit shocking. So there were people then calling him gay and stuff in the comments. But the back and forth went as such, and then eventually he said that he likes to be dominated, which is.
And he's a big guy, isn't he?
He's a big guy.
He's a big, muscly, powerful guy.
He must be like 6'5"
Big,
and
man.
20 stone, 20, maybe 22 stone. He's massive. And then he in one comment, he said that about how he wants to on his chest. Which was just like...
That's out there, isn't it?
It's out there. But, I mean, whatever floats your boat, like whatever gets you going.
Who we to judge?
It's fair play to him. But the fact that these explicit conversations then got screenshotted and leaked, and apparently just Twitter blew up. I mean, we're joking about it. It's quite funny. It's not funny for him, and it's awful. It's actually awful, because if you imagine any of your private information was to be put online, you know, like you've had celebrities have new videos leaked. It's awful.
Yeah.
Well, he said he was on a train coming back from London back home because he just lost a job. He didn't get the job that he thought he was going to get, so he was in quite a lot of debt, and he was.
Do you mean like a brand deal, like a sponsorship?
Brand deal, yeah, for his sponsorship for his podcast, and he didn't get that, so he was on his way back, and a woman said, and that got leaked, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And a woman came over and said, "Do you want any food, coffee, tea?" And he went, "Do I want anything?" A gun to the head.
Oh wow! So he was that badly affected by it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's in my opinion, I think it's probably the best thing he could have done as sort of like mitigation of the consequences, because people are saying to him, just deny it, say it's not you, say it's not you, and he owned it.
So what was it? Screenshots of their conversation got leaked, did they?
Yeah, so they're still there online. Like you can. He's left them. You can't, once it's out there, you can't get it back. And you can read through the comments. But he basically opened up and said, "Yeah, I said it. You know, we've all got as what we like, what we enjoy. I had this back and forth with this lady, and then it got leaked." But he goes into detail about every single, like, leading up to it, and then leading up to the brand deal, losing the brand deal, all the money that he's put into this potential new venture, and he lost it. Did he lose
the brand deal? So I'm getting a bit confused. Did he lose the brand deal because
it wasn't because of it. It just happened that this brand deal that it was like, it was going to happen. He was so sure it was going to happen, right? He went out and bought a Bentley Continental. Yeah. So he bought this black Bentley Continental.
He previously bought a Maserati. Was it Maserati?
McLaren.
Sorry, yeah. Bought a McLaren. Then said, "Oh, winter's going to be soon, so I'll sell them the McLaren and get the Bentley." And then lost a lot of
YouTube money.
Yeah, so he did all that, and it's like, I want to up the production value, so we're going to get all these cameras and this live streaming rig, and we're going to get
cameras and everything.
We're going to get this new new podcast studio, and he wants it to be similar to Rogan. He goes into real detail about what he wants it to look like.
So he's a podcaster, isn't he, on YouTube?
Yeah, and so the investor is like, it's going to come off. This deal's like, it's there. It's like, we can see that the finish line's there. We just need to work out the finer details, and we're signing it. Yeah. So he goes and buys this Bentley.
So he bought it before he had the money for the deal. Yeah.
So he's tick like, is there, but it's all on tick. Like he said, I ain't got that much money, so I've got it on finance or whatever. It's all ticked up to eyeballs. This falls through. He's coming back from like London on a train to Northeast, and these tweets get leaked, and then Twitter goes mad.
Was it the same day the deal fell through?
It was close enough. Yeah, it was close enough. And it's like an hour-long video, and he really opens up, and he puts his heart on his sleeve, and he's saying, "Look, he spoke about suicide. He thought about ending it, and it's just like, fair play. Like, you've opened up. I don't even think it was that bad. Like, it could be. if you think about it, it could be way worse. Like all it is words. It's just words on the screen.
Yeah, but I think when it happens to you, it's at that point in time, it's the worst thing on earth, isn't it? Yeah,
totally,
you can't see it from outside perspective or anything. It's you. Everyone in the world can see this about you. It's going to ruin everything in your life. It's the worst thing ever. Yeah.
But people were tweeting at him saying they hate him, and they were saying fag and this, all these horrible, nasty words. And he's not done anything wrong. He's not doing anything illegal. Why should he get hate for that? Like.
And the reason we brought it up, like why I put it in the WhatsApp group, is because it goes back to like these individuals that are like so prominent and successful online.
Their success is built on personal brands, isn't it?
Your personal brand, and it's like with that great power comes great responsibility. And he's there in the DMs of his Instagram, like his verified Instagram account, chatting like that heavy stuff with a random, like I don't think he met her. He didn't say anything about the lady that had
just a random hottie that slid into his DMs.
And he's like, I've got a pulse, and I'm like, well, whatever, like you single, go crack on. And I don't know, I felt well bad for him. And after that, I wasn't really a fan, to be honest. I've watched probably one of his podcasts before, and I couldn't really. It wasn't my thing. Yeah. And then since I've seen that, I've followed him on Instagram. I've followed him. I've subscribed. I'm like a fan now. Like,
his podcasts are top notch, aren't they? They're really good.
Because he did that video you're talking about, the hour-long one where he explained everything you've just explained to me. He did that a while after all of this stuff happened, didn't he?
Yes, I think it must be 2 or 3 weeks after, let the dust settle, and then he said, right, let's cards on table. And he's still not in a good position. Like from what he said on the video, he's financially not in a good position for the channel. They've gone back to basics. He's getting interviewed by his best mate, and what had happened was with him not getting this deal, and for whatever reason, it actually put his best mate in a financially bad position as well, because they're all part of the same company.
Oh, so he had people relying on him.
Yeah, so he's the top.
Made it feel even worse.
So he's the top of this tree of people, and he's employing people, and then it all falls through, and he's just lost everything. He's lost
Sold the Bentley as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the nail in the coffin. He had to sell the Bentley.
So it sounds like what he did was he bought the McLaren for X amount, sold it to get the Bentley because winter were coming, lost a fortune on that, but he's like, I make loads of money, so I'll just lose this money, get a Bentley, and then he's had to sell the Bentley at a lower cost. So for example, if Bentley costs 120 grand and he takes off the forecourt and he's gone back 6 weeks later because he's got no money left, and like, do you mind buying this back? They'll be like, yeah, of course, mate, we'll give you 80 grand for it. You've just lost 40 G's.
Just like that, you've lost all that money.
And he says like, the more I've lost from selling the McLaren and then selling the Bentley is like more than most salaries in a 5-year period. Like it's just
insane.
There's a few things to unpack from that then, just now that we've sort of got it all explained. First off, like social media and like, people becoming online famous, it's basically it's resulting in people having money that aren't traditionally used to having money. Like it hasn't been passed down through the family, it's not generational wealth. And that can result in people getting into situations where they just don't know how to manage their money and handle it. So going out and spending money you don't have yet, and doing stuff on credit, committing to these rental contracts when you don't really have the money in the bank, like it's a mistake.
And that's
people
exactly
can make
that's
when they
exactly
get money
what
quick.
he says. Like he was a diver, so he worked offshore. Super traditional job for the northeast. Like you either go to sea or you go offshore on rigs. Like that's pretty much what you do. They get paid a lot of money on rigs as well. So if he did a 6 week trip on a rig, he'll earn probably 10, 15, 20 grand, and then he comes home, but you don't get paid when you're on leave. So he'll just spend his money up the wall, and he's basically done that on scale because he's never known. He's from an estate, like his family's never had
a proper financial education.
Yeah, and he's just and then the final nail in the biggest coffin of all that, he got hit with a massive tax bill at the end of it. So like, he's at the lowest point. He's got nothing left. He's been outed on public. He's lost all his money. He's lost his brand deal. His mates hates him. And then this accountant's gone, yeah, your previous accountant calculated your earnings wrong. You owe X amount to tax man. And he was just like...
So he already had no money, and then he had a tax bill thrown onto him after that.
So now he's in payment plan to pay off his tax bill from previous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he didn't mention any figures. He just said it's 6 figures.
That's a big amount of money for someone who's come from nothing as well, isn't it? To have a tax bill that you've got to pay that's 6 figures when you've already got no money like left over, that's got to hurt.
I mean, like looking at it now, I'm confident that what got him into the problem will get him back out again. So like what got him the amount of money in the first place, he will then get back out with, because his channel, I believe, is still going strong.
Yeah.
The fact that he's done that and opened up.
Looks like he's got sponsors now as well.
Right.
It sounds like the video that we're talking about that you put out, where he put everything on the table, kind of sounds like a redemption story. Like, he put that video out and it's kind of redeemed his reputation a little bit. And because I've noticed from my time on YouTube that people really value and appreciate honesty.
Yeah.
You know, he could have been really secretive and tried to do some, you know, sort of slimy, polished way of getting out of the trouble, but it sounds like he just put himself out there, put it on the table, and just said it how it was, and people respect that honesty and that connection to people.
And what I've spoke to people about personal branding and stuff, and obviously consulting with people that want to come and create podcasts. And I think podcasts in general, obviously that was the original platform. It really does give an opportunity for an audience to get to know you on a different level. So like people that currently will only know you from your YouTube channel, YouTube videos, really polished, really nice. Whereas this will give them an insight into you as a person, as a character, you know. And I think the person that you put online should be who you meet in real life.
For sure.
You'll soon get found out. So I think that's also part of the reason why he can redeem himself, because they will understand him as a character and the way that he conducts himself from all the previous podcasts, because it's just a raw, long piece of content. So they understand him. So when they saw it, they'll be like, oh, as bad as that. But then when he's like, listen, I've made a mistake. I've owned up to it. This is it. Like, I've never lied to you once before.
Yeah.
I've put all cards back on the table. If you can't deal with it, you probably shouldn't be here anyway, you know. So I think that from a personal branding point, I think it's like really a good thing that he's done it.
For sure. And just to piggyback on that point, like I saw an interview with Will Smith the other day, and they were asking him about why he's all over social media now, why he likes it so much. And he said, you know, I built my whole career, and this is what a ton of famous people do. They build a whole career where you're building a character. You build a career around a character, not around yourself.
Yeah.
And he built up the image of Will Smith over the last 20, 30 years. And he said he got to a point where he just felt so inauthentic and disingenuous to himself as a person.
Yeah.
And what social media lets him do is he can just be himself.
Yeah.
He can get rid of all that PR polished crap and just be himself and relate to his audience and just give an honest insight to his life. And if people don't like it, they don't have to follow. But because that authenticity and honesty is appreciated and respected so much in social media, he's just way more comfortable doing it on the platform and using it for that outlet.
I love it. I think that's what's that's what the modern world's bringing. Like you'd look at these celebrities and you think the shit doesn't stink. Do you know what I mean? You think they don't have problems. And people like Kevin Hart was, you know, again, we spoke about that last time. Did you go watch it?
Did you watch it? Yeah, it's great.
So like he has then gone out and he said, look, I did make these mistakes in Vegas, and he does go into detail about, look, we all make mistakes. And the footage that he released on that documentary, when he's like fighting with his best mate on the private jet,
doesn't make him look good, does it?
Doesn't make him look good at all. Like, but he's done it, he's owned it, and you just go, you know what, I respect that.
Yeah.
Rather than the polished, rubbishy.
We're moving into an age where people are starting to understand and have the opinion that celebrities are just people. Everyone is a person, and they want to see a person on the other end of the camera and not a character and a fake image. And I think the way True Geordie has been able to redeem his reputation a bit by doing that open, authentic chat, the way Will Smith and all these other celebrities are jumping onto social media now, Jack Black and stuff, and it's working for them. It's just a reflection of that. Blinsky Games, yeah. Go check out Jack Black's YouTube channel if you're not. It's great. But yeah, it just shows you the times we're in now, right? If you're going to be on social media, you want to be successful, you've got to put your own personality into your videos and be authentic to yourself.